Welcome back, fair travellers. Are you ready to resume the tale? I've got to be sure. This is a written adventure with mature themes intended for adults over 18 years. Please use your discretion, grab a drink, and join us once again at the RollTales table here in Sandpoint. Hello everyone and welcome back to Rise of the Remaster. Alright, last time we played a longer session than usual, but hell of a boss fight. In fact, I would actually rank that as one of my most favourite boss fights that I have ever run and ever been a part of in regards to Pathfinder 2nd edition. Certainly under the proficiency without level rule set. It was really, really cool. I enjoyed that fight with Rick Nugget. And to be blunt, our heroes at Sandpoint here have earned their 4th level. So, as per tradition, we'll go through the players one by one. We'll see what everyone has taken at level 4, and then we'll move on to the recap and today's game. Let's actually go in reverse order for a change, bottom to top in terms of the icons on the overlay. Hello Tom, welcome back as ever. Rudgar level 4, well played last time. What's Rudgar's level up reward from beating Rip Nugget?
So I put the attribute bonus into strength, so we've got +4 strength now, along with the +4 con. I have taken a couple of feats, class feat, which is Intimidating Strike, that allows me to take a 2-action strike to potentially frighten an opponent. And skill feat wise, I took Battle Medicine, which is pretty self-explanatory, allows you to treat wounds within a combat scenario. We also realized that I had upped my intelligence on a previous level up, but not taken the additional skill that comes with that. So I took training in society. It was a difficult choice because none of the things I wasn't already trained in felt like a core part of Rudgar's character. But I think Rudgar, the way I've played him, the way I've considered him, is by no means silver-tongued or anything, but is considered tactful even. So I felt like that fit.
He certainly, as a former guardsman, knows the society of Sandpoint, that's for sure. And as you've mentioned before in previous backstory stuff, Rudgar is also lived and been a part of other, even dwarven holdings, so he's been around. So I think that is a wise choice, and I think that makes a lot of sense for the character. Let's move up. Paz, level 4 War Priest. How you looking?
I'm looking like a level 4 war priest.
How clever of you. Well done. Gold star to Paz, everybody.
Thank you. Oh, finally, someone's proud of me. Anyway. So, took an increased strength, so I'm more adept at combat. Also took a unclass feat that might come in clutch in certain situation, Restorative Strike, which has the fun effect that for 2 actions, I attack and I cast the heal spell on myself. The 1 action variant.
Just you or anybody around you?
If the strike hits, I can target a second willing creature to be healed by the same amount, as long as that willing creature is adjacent to the enemy that I hit.
Very nice. And you've got a reach weapon as well, so that gives you a lot of options.
Yes.
Anything else you wish to share? You good?
I can. As terms of skill feats, I took the one that lets me make holy water.
Yeah, I can actually see that coming in handy in this campaign, believe it or not. I can really see that. It's definitely going to be situational, but I think it's going to be a situational where once it lands, you're going to be like, yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get what you mean. And I did also gain a spell slot, which I just took resist energy.
Fair. More than fair. Resist energy. You're playing that buffer debuffer game, and it's working well, so you keep at it. Next up, Dave. How's the witch looking at level 4?
Oh, gosh. I had an absolute plethora of choices for class feats. There are so many cool ones, and so many that fit thematically, and I think I've landed on one or some that fit both thematically and appropriately to what we have been up to. I've ended up getting Enhanced Familiar, which stacks with the Enhanced Familiar of Witch, so that Null has a couple of new abilities. I've swapped a couple out so that I've got some combos going, but we have Familiar of Stalking Knight I already had, blah, 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 blah. I've taken the combo of Absorb Familiar, where I can absorb Null kind of into my body, just to keep them safe sometimes if I need to. Still be under the hat for a decent amount of time. I can combo that with Touch Telepathy. We can share thoughts and stuff. And then the one that felt most thematically appropriate to me, based on what I've been saying about the character, I grabbed Familiar of Balanced Luck.
Okay.
Which, when I cast or sustain a hex, I can choose to give one of my party members either a +1 status bonus to its AC, or an enemy a -1 status penalty to its AC until the start of my next turn.
That's very good. That is very, very good. Is that your level 4 complete, Dave, or anything else?
Oh, I got a skill feat. And my skill feat is Schooled in Secrets, which is noticing signs and symbols that members of mystery cults and other secret societies use to declare their affiliations to fellow members. I can use occultism, place of diplomacy to gather information about those groups, and in place of deception to impersonate a member of the groups, since we'll be dealing with a decent amount of cultists, I imagine, in the future.
We don't see each other when we play. We're audio only. I know that doesn't make sense to some out there, but I can tell you one thing for nothing right now. Alex and I are smiling at that feat. That is a good choice.
Could you hear me smile?
Yes.
I'm glad.
It's the beard. It's the beard, isn't it?
That is a very, without saying much more, that is a very good choice, Dave. Is that your level up complete, my friend?
Yes, indeed.
All right, then. Finally, but not least, Alex, what's the level 4 rogue looking like?
Well, I am now a ID +4 on my dex.
Nice.
I'm an expert in deception for my fainting. And I've taken Trap Finder and additional lore, and I've taken Underworld lore.
Good stuff. And also rogues. Skill increases pretty much every darn level, so this man is only getting smarter. But level up's complete. Party is level 4. An hour is going to pass since we last finished the session, so you've taken some time. Null is back. Your HP will be regenerated and your wounded conditions will be removed. So let's do the recap and catch up on the events so far. On the last session of Rise of the Remaster, these heroes of Sandpoint continued their exploration of Thistletop and got themselves out of a jam that they nearly put themselves into in regards to the Goblin Barracks. Luckily, the lock spell held firm, and the goblins could not do enough damage to overcome the hardness of the door. Put simply, they were stuck in there, and there was nothing they could do about it. However, the party got jumped from behind by the outside patrol of goblins on their goblin dogs. Fortunately for them, they were not great riders, so it took them a few rounds to get there, and when they actually got to the player characters, the party, they couldn't actually make the nature checks to control the goblin dogs to get into the fray with them. So they dismounted and engaged the party with the goblin dogs acting under their own initiatives. The fight was decent, but not much of a hard challenge for the party, who were level 3 at the time, and managed to take them down. They then had a small but pleasant debate about whether or not to take on Rip Nugget. After some back and forth, it was concluded that they would take out the war chief of Thistletop. They approached him, and they found the war chief along with 2 goblins who escaped the glassworks unharmed, and also the infamous war chanter from the Swallowtail Festival. They were doing a reenactment of the Swallowtail Festival attack. However, this reenactment was obviously more in favour of the goblins. A fight broke out immediately, and well, I felt good about myself because the party got some much needed karma after teasing Rip Nugget on a few occasions, even off the cast as well. They found out exactly why he is one of the goblin heroes, and he is also the war chief of Thistletop. The party fell into a trap of overconfidence. Rip Nugget started taking them down, but some brilliant controlled healing from Targray and some teamwork from the rest of the party managed to take out all the ants in true MMO style, managed to get Rip Nugget off his mount, and then they thought they properly had him. However, competent fighter, he was still taking out party members. AJ went down. But in the end, it was Thumble who was the first to fall against Rip Nugget, making some tactical errors, who in the end got back up and got the final kill shot on the war chief. Rip Nugget is down, Rip Nugget is out, and we return to the game an hour later after the heroes have patched up their wounds. So let's bring it back in.
I think within that hour, with patching up the things, I'm gonna do what we agreed, and I will run outside, cross the bridge, and blow my signal whistle to the other goblin that we agreed that would take over the Thistletop goblins.
Well, yeah, you're going to have a choice in that matter, though, Alex. You can either do that or heal. Because if you do that, even though that won't take the full hour, it will be a mechanical trade-off for the healing and the wounded condition removement.
Right. Okay. Well, we'll do that after when we've cleared the rest of the place out then.
Okay, cool. You can still do it. I'm not trying to stop you. You can still do it. However, blowing the thistle whistle to Gogma, trying to locate Gogma or Gogma come into the fray. He doesn't want to get too close. Yes, he wanted Rip Nugget. He didn't want to take Rip Nugget out, but he agreed to take Rip Nugget out, wanted Rip Nugget, well, you know what I mean. He wanted Rip Nugget taken out, but he didn't want Rip Nugget taken out. He's still not going to approach anyway because of New Alia, so he would still be apprehensive. But regardless, there is some loot. Rip Nugget's token is still on the board, and that indicates that the war chief does have some loot on them that you can identify without a check. On Rip Nugget, he has the following items: a Bravo's Brew Lesser, a Healing Potion Lesser, half plate armor, and a +1 striking short sword. Now, this is for the fighters in the party in particular. This is something new for Tom, who's still getting used to 2nd edition Pathfinder. Striking Runes are the next stage up in terms of attack power, Tom. The +1 you currently have will give you a +1 bonus to hit, but Striking Runes give you an additional dice worth of damage. So, for example, if you or Targray was to put this on your respective weapons, the hammer and the glaive, let's use the warhammer for the sake of ease, the warhammer increases to 2d8 plus your strength modifier. and you still get the +1 to attack on top. So
That's very exciting.
yes. And that's how weapons upgrade in Pathfinder 2nd edition. They increase in damage dice. So, we have some sexy loot there. Who wants what?
I'm obviously going to take the half plate. Just shove that on.
Yeah, I'm already
I mean, you
wearing
are a
half plate.
halfling.
Hey, there you go.
I'm already wearing half plate, so if it's useful to someone else should take it.
I can't wear it.
Half plate is.
I know.
Yeah, I don't think Targray can wear it as well because you don't have War Priest armor, do you?
Yeah, I only am trained in medium or up to medium armor, and the half plate is heavy.
Okay. So
Okay, well I can tolerate the bulk, so I'll take it and we'll sell it.
nice.
Money.
Nice. Or if Targray does take War Priest armor at a later point, maybe that's an option.
Indeed.
In Sandpoint, you do have a stash. So, and also remember, apparently that has made you encumbered though, Rudgar.
Oh yeah, I was wrong. I was looking at max bulk instead of encumbered.
Stick it in your backpack. That may do it.
Yeah.
Let's do that.
Magic backpack, which isn't actually magic, it's just the way it works.
And for some reason, you've got 3 crowbars in there, Rudgar. Why do you have 3
Yeah, that sounds
crowbars?
like something I might have done.
Is there something you're not telling us about the character?
He's secretly
Sometimes-
a juggler.
Well, if you don't mind,
Sometimes you
need a crowbar.
need a crowbar.
No, apparently that's way.
Sometimes you need 3.
But apparently, no, that's way put you over max bulk as well.
Ah, rats. Okay.
So
Perhaps I will give up some of my crowbars.
You,
well, half
it
plate.
turns out you can't actually use a crowbar to lever another crowbar to make the lever a stronger lever.
What?
Maybe that's his build
Yeah.
though. Maybe he's dual wielding crowbars.
I've seen anime that will swear down that a crowbar is the most versatile weapon that we have available in our society currently.
I'm not surprised
It's
in the
the-
slightest.
It's the
I
One
will.
Piece equivalent. It's the 3 crowbar style.
Yes! I want a 3 crowbar style build in Pathfinder. Get on it, internet.
But
But I think the
I will admit,
Give me a couple of weeks.
But I think, hold on, in all seriousness, game mechanics wise, I think the half plate's too heavy for now, Rudgar. Maybe,
Yeah, I think you might be right.
maybe I'll put it back onto Rip. Maybe grab it on the way out. Okay, but there's still.
What you should pick up is that striking short sword.
Yes, I will do so, unless there are any objections. I assume we'll have to get to a blacksmith to get the rune removed
Yes, it would.
and placed on something else.
Yes, it would
Based
require.
on your crowbars.
There you go. Yeah, just wrench out with the crowbars. Yeah, come here, striking ruin. Actually, Thumble,
Level 14, you got a crowbar that does 2d12 damage.
yeah, it's called the
Yeah.
ultimate opener. But in all seriousness, Thumble, can your crafting skills do rune transfer? I know you won't be able to do it now. There's not the time, but just interested. Can you do
Yes.
rune transfer? Can you do rune transfer?
Yeah, magical crafting will cover little bits and bobs like that.
Okay, so keep that in mind in the future. Spoiler, that will come in handy down the line. So even though doing it in town, fantastic, you can do that in town, but Thumble can also do that for you. But Rudgar takes the +1 striking short sword. Anyone for the potions, there's a Bravo's Brew and there's a healing potion lesser. And that's the next stage up healing potion as well. I think that one heals, I can't remember for lessers at the moment. 2d8 plus 5.
Yeah.
my suggestion would be that either AJ or Rudgar take the Brave Brew.
Plus
As
one
they are the
bonus
ones.
to will saves.
Yeah, we got the lowest. Well, if Rudgar's incumbent, I can take the Brave Brew and we can pass it back and forth when we need it.
Yeah, you take it for now.
What is your will save at? Is it trained or expert?
It is expert, I think, because of the
And-
bravery feat, potentially.
Yes, because of bravery.
Yeah, I'm an expert as well. Okay, well, I'll take it for now anyway, and then if you need it later, I can always toss it back to you.
Well, it's a buffing brew, so it's a brew that you can definitely take before a fight or an encounter, so it's not one that you have to drink in the moment. But that healing potion is, who's got the hands for it?
I do, but I already have a lesser healing potion. I can have two, but
I've also got healing potions already.
No, I mean, do you have the lesser healing potion, the big boy one?
Oh, I've got a minor and a lesser, yeah.
Okay.
I got it already.
Well, maybe then if
I
I
have two.
Oh, go on, Targray.
I have two minor.
I was going to actually recommend give that to Targray because, well, to be plain, he's running out of channels. So a bit like the first edition days, instead of the healing one to heal yourselves up, those potions may be more handy. So I would recommend Targray for that one, but it's entirely up to you.
Yeah, go for it.
Oh, there's also the fact that Targray can just hold on to it, and if a situation requires it, force feed a downed compatriot.
That's what I'm thinking. Because of the reach of your weapon, you're going to be a mixture between the front and the back line.
Mm-hmm.
So you're the best one to feed potions to the party as well, in my opinion. All right, loot is done. Let's bring the game back in proper. So, Thumble, you feel you resummon Null, and Null is back under your hat. What would you like to do from here? Rip Nugget is down and out.
Well, we got a door to the north and a door to the east.
Yep. Well, we still got New Alia and that, so.
Dragonette.
Oh, yeah, no. I reckon we go back east. Stay away from the yard as much as we can.
Alright, so let's have some exploration actions then. Last time I had you all at AJ avoid notice, Rudgar defend, scout for Targray and search for Thumble. Interjection quickly while I think about it. Rudgar, you doing anything to fix up your shield because it did take a bit of a whack against Rip Nugget.
That's a good point. It's at 13 HP instead of 20. I do have the ability to do a what's it called? Improvised repair. Although that makes it into a usable state when it's broken.
I believe you've also got some mending oil as well, though, don't you?
Yes, oil of mending, fantastic. So,
Would you like to use it?
Applying this oil to an item casts a second rank mending spell. Yes, I would. That sounds great.
Alright, so click Muse then, and I will get up the details for mending, because it's been a while. So you apply this to your shield over the next hour, and it is a second rank. Apparently mending is actually a first rank spell. What was the level of the item, Rudgar?
I think it said a second rank mending spell.
Okie dokie, so let's have a look. Just gonna make sure here. I believe you are correct, but let's just make sure and get this correctly. Oil of mending, here we go. Yes, so your shield restores 10 hit points.
Brilliant. Now take it back to full strength.
Nice. All right, good stuff. The defender is good to go again. So, last time, exploration actions. What about this time around? Are you sticking to what you were doing, or are you for switching up at all?
Rudgar will keep defending.
I'll keep to the back.
I will give you a secret perception. My looky.
Research. Targray, you staying on scouting?
No. Now that we are going against what can be soon to be more magic based, I would like to swap to identify magic.
Okay, fantastic stuff. Give me a... Let's have a look. It's been a while since I've seen Identify Magic. So once you discover an item, location, or ongoing effect that is magical, you can spend 10 minutes to try and identify. This is more of when you found something magical. This is like 5e detect magic, where you identify magical items.
Ah!
I think what you're looking for... Do you have detect magic?
No, I do not.
No. That one is a good move, but that is more for when you find something and you take the 10 minutes to figure out what it is. It's how this system works when they replace the I take 10, I take 20 system. The game just presumes you take 10/20 anyway.
Fair enough. Then I shall resume scouting.
It's a good one. So, alright, secret checks have come in. Scouting bonus is now applied. So feel free to proceed onwards as you look around Rip Nugget's twisted little throne room chamber. As Alex mentioned as AJ, there is a door off to the north and there is a door off to the east by Rip Nugget's throne. Thumble, you're going to take a look in?
I'm thinking that we probably want to head this way, but I'm loath to be the one to open doors.
Alright, I will tell you from your perception check as you move up that the sound of silence rings through your ears and you don't see anything dodgy about the door, which is unlocked.
Okay. I'll open it myself then.
You open the door into a room that contains a small armory of crudely made weapons, mostly dog slicers and short bows, and several small goblin-sized suits of studded leather armor and dented shields. To the south stands a pair of workbenches. And here is the loot box for... Let me just bring it up. Here we go. That button. Here's the loot box for the armory. The armory contains a total of the following items. 23 dog slicers, 11 short bows, 2 whips, 6 wooden shields, 11 sets of studded leather armor, and 80 arrows.
Wow. I'm glad that the quartermaster was keeping good inventory. I wouldn't want to count all those myself.
I will actually say that these workbenches, for whatever reason, if you decide to do some crafting here, will give you a +1 circumstance bonus.
Yes, it would have been nice to have somewhere to lay my shield while I applied the oil. Nevertheless, what do we think is worth taking?
Well, I could do with some more arrows in case we come into another big fight.
If there is anything you want out the armory loot box, feel free to take it.
Yeah, I'll have to move my token in because I can't see the loot box. Yeah, there we go.
We'll just have to make several trips of stealing all this stuff when we're done. Or we could just leave it to its new owner.
See how many I can take.
Use 33 gold's worth of short bows. I am loath to leave that around.
Well, I am going to rule that as per the descriptor, and under the original rules of 2E that used to have shoddy condition items, they are essentially all shoddy. I'm not sure that the shoddiness is still around in the game now, but I haven't adjusted it yet, but
yeah,
those are only going to sell at a quarter of their worth.
Okay. Leaving that the junk.
They are pretty much, they're crude, improvised weapons. It's just a tribute, though, to Goblin's improvised crafting abilities that these weapons work. So it's one part junk, but yet one part badass of what they've been able to achieve with what they have.
Very true, very true.
All right, where next?
It's other door time then.
Yes, so the party are looking at the door to the north.
Now, would that leather armor fit humans rather than goblins.
I'm saying for the sake of ease, yes. I know there is runes in the remaster as well that allows you to resize armor and weapons, but I feel that is a unnecessary complication to the game. So in some cases, for some very unique weapons, then I'm going to say like specific magical weapons, like the ancient weapon of a giant who used this to strike down his enemies for thousands of years. Something like that, maybe, but for casual armor and weapons, no.
Fair enough. Game mechanic, because I've never come across this before. The modifier cap, what does that mean?
It means that you will get a bonus from your dex modifier to your AC to the maximum number of the cap. So the light studded leather armor will give you a item bonus +2 to your AC, and then a maximum of 3 from your dexterity modifier will also be added to that as well.
Okay.
You have a +1 to...
I'm going to take the...
Yeah, you have a plus. I was just going to add you have a +1 to strength, so you meet the strength requirement as well, so you will not receive the check penalty.
Yeah, I think I'll take the studded armor and just put it in my... Wait, hang on. That's 11. No, I don't want 11.
Don't worry, I'll get rid of them for you. I'll just leave you one. If you wish to equip the...
there we are.
If you also wish to equip the studded leather armor, you may also do so. You will have enough time.
Yeah, I think I'll put my my fashioned coat in my bag.
Okay.
There we go.
No, we'll find a transmog system for you, so you don't have to wear the pinky armor. You can make it look like a nice coat instead.
But still, AC up.
I'll take it to a tailor.
But still, AC up to 17. You can't sneeze at that.
No, that's pretty good.
So that is perfect for
Mr.
Ryan.
Carmel.
Yeah.
A few of my choices have been in reaction to getting mullered.
That's mage armor now, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So new armor applied. You're at the door to the north, Rudgar. As far as you're concerned,
Indeed.
everything's golden.
Yeah, let's open it up.
Okay. Several rugs made from dog or horse hide lies strewn all over the dirt floor of this room. Against the north wall stands an impressive collection of horseshoes, each nailed to the wall. To the east sits a ragged padded chair next to a rickety desk that may have once been an expensive antique. In the northwest corner sits a canopied bed covered with silk sheets and sporting an elaborate carved headboard that features nymphs and satyrs cavorting in a forest. The bed sheets are stained with dirt, while the headboard is bashed and battered. You get the impression that this was the war chief's personal chambers.
Did you say it had tapers in it?
Let's see. In the northwest corner sits a canopied bed with silk sheets and sporting elaborately carved headboards. Tapers. Sits a ragged chair next to a rickety bed that may be an expensive antique. No, I don't. I don't think I mentioned tapers. There's nothing in the descriptor. If I did, that may have been
Satyrs,
okay.
perhaps? Nymphs and satyrs?
satyrs. Thank you. Oh, it's me. It's me and my inability to read.
It's alright.
Tapers would be fun.
Don't worry about it.
We record this game early. It's early. Come on. But in all seriousness, you think you found Rip Nugget's personal room?
Not bad as Thistletop goes. Still, I think I prefer my own bed. I don't know that there's anything useful in here, but someone with a more practiced eye is welcome to look.
Okay, so Thumble moves up to the room, and Thumble, you take a quick scan around, and oh yeah, you do find something. You find two things. First, you find something concealed in the desk, and then you find something under the pillow in Rip Nugget's bed. Another loot box. Inside this loot box, inside this loot box, you find 100 copper pieces. That was in the desk, along with a very large iron key. That's very morbid looking. Has a skull on the end of it. However, it appears to be well taken care of. Thumble, because you are trained in crafting, you can tell that this is a key that unlocks a large container of some kind. You're presuming a chest. Also, under the pillow was a silver religious symbol of Lamashtu that's worth 2 gold pieces. And although technically not treasure, I am going to rule religious symbols sell for full price because you pretty much sell them off as treasure anyway. So 100 copper pieces and a religious silver symbol of Lamashtu for 2 gold pieces. I shall distribute the coins to the party.
And have it down.
Okay. All party members receive 25 copper pieces each.
Well done,
Nice.
Thumble.
We're getting rich, boys.
I should have known the war chief would keep some loot for himself.
Trust me, boys. In about 8,000 years, these are going to be antiques and going to sell for a lot of shit.
Targray, also the kind of person who bought a collection of Beanie Babies.
So, yes.
Hey. We don't talk about that.
We don't talk about that. But in all seriousness, that large key, Thumble, I'll say for the sake of ease, it's a chest key. You can identify it as a chest key. What's interesting is the remarkable good condition it's been kept in, and that skull on the end of it. Back over to you, Thor.
I would just like to say that as a cleric of Shaylin, I appreciate the craftsmanship of the desk and the craftsmanship of the key.
Very fair. But where to now?
Well, we came in from the southeast, right?
Mm-hmm.
Off of
And off the corridor.
Yeah.
We should probably head either back to that corridor or through the door, the double door.
Yeah, the double door off to the southwest.
I think.
Yeah, that leads back to the foyer.
Yeah, I think the fog of war was reset. I don't quite remember where we checked before.
Yes, I did have to reset the fog of war because I had a issue crop up in prep, but I will help you out there. You came from the eastern passageway off to the door off to the southeast. However, the double doors in the southwestern corner where you're closest to now, that is the double doors that leads to a corridor 10 feet going south, which leads to the next set of double doors, which goes back to the trophy hall, aka the opening foyer / hallway to Thistletop.
Right. But there were doors to the southeast where we went northwest, but could have continued going north.
Not that way, no. That you recall. You do know in the main trophy hall entrance foyer, you do know that there was another door that was in between the goblin barracks and the double doors that lead into here, but yeah, nowhere directly to the north. No more north than here, let's put it that way.
No, the only other doors were in the western corridor, which led to where the goblin dog pen was.
Okay. Well, we'll check the other door that we haven't checked then.
We should also keep in mind that the goblins should not be a problem anymore, given that Ribnugget is dead.
Those who know.
If I remember correctly.
They may still object to our presence, especially as we killed Nugget.
Oh, yes. Let's grab something. A little morbid, but what if we take Oh, yes, the skull off his thing that I beat him to death with.
If you want to keep him a bit more simple, he was wearing a crown.
Alright, sick. I'm going to take the crown and I'm going to put it over my wizard hat so it sits like above the brim, but the pointy bit's still coming out of it.
Fair enough. Fair enough. So you take
Which is bling.
Yeah, which is bling. So you take Rick Nugget's makeshift crown. I'll remove him from the board now, actually. You take Rip Nugget's makeshift crown, and please feel free to proceed onwards. GM hint here, don't think too hard into it.
Okay. Alright.
Rock and roll.
Let us proceed to the areas we have not yet explored.
Alright, so they're leaving through the southwestern door and head back into the main trophy room / foyer of Thistletop. And they're back where they were before with the Goblin Towers off to the east and the west, the pen off to the northwest, the door in the centre, and the barracks. Thumble's gone to the door in the centre of this hallway. Would you like to have a look, Thumble? Everything is coming across to you A-okay.
Yes, please.
Alright, open it up, and you find a hallway with a stairwell that seemingly leads down.
Right, I think I found a path.
Well done, Thumble. Let's continue exploring.
Thumble is a proper Pathfinder.
I'm doing it.
He said it! He said it!
Said the
He said
thing.
the title!
Said the thing. So these stairs do descend downwards. They're in between the main corridor into Rick Nugget's chamber and between the barracks. You can hear several goblins quiet next door now as they've been knocked out from knocking each other out and one snoring asleep. But yeah, if you make your way down the stairs, you will automatically bamf yourselves down there to an area that has little to absolutely no light whatsoever. Music
I'm going to
chat.
have to grab myself some in that case.
I'll grab the glue rod again and stick it on Rudgar's shield.
I will be playing here. Just light will suffice for now. Just for the sake of speed. As the stairway...
Okay, I didn't hear the spell being cast.
Ah, cool. But Thumble has cast light on themselves. I believe it's actually been cast on one of you. But that will suffice.
It's on AJ.
Yeah,
Yes. All right.
on me. Oh, I'm blind.
So there you go. That will do it for now. And also for that shield rig that you did with the glow rod, I wanted a crafting check for it because, you know, that's not exactly game breaking, but game bending, where you're essentially getting a free light source without magic and a free hand. But regardless, as you descend the stairwell and come to this first underground level underneath Thistletop, you appear to arrive in what appears to be some kind of abandoned feast hall. A single lantern hangs from a hook on the wall next to where the stairs enter this room, so as soon as you enter this old feast hall, light once again illuminates. Several rickety doors open into this room, and a few discarded dog pelt rugs lie forgotten in the northeastern corner. You can see remnants of where this did used to be a feast hall, but some, shall we call it, reconstruction has been done. Time has passed in the exploration actions. Unless you're changing, those who made secret check rolls, could you please remake them now for the next segment of exploration? Alright, both of them have come in, thank you very much. Now, one point to gain clarification. In the artwork of this map, once again done by the amazing Narki at Narki Maps, you see imagery for two doors. However, you also notice that there is no door icon above them. Basically a bit Silent Hill style, those doors are sealed, shut and closed and cannot be opened. And I'll be perfectly blunt about this, gents and non-binary friends. Those doors contained content in the original Rise of the Runelords adventure I wasn't comfortable with, so I'm not going to run them. So those doors are out of action in case you wonder. But apart from that, yeah, Paz.
So you're doing a hot coffee removal?
Wow, that is a reference. If anyone gets that reference, put it in the chat and put it in the comments section below. But essentially, yes, there's a bits of content that hit my X card, so I'm just like, no, not doing them.
Completely fair, man.
All right.
Yeah, fair enough.
So feel free to proceed from here. Thumble, you take a look around and everything appears quiet. Several doors that lead off in different directions. One door to the north west, one door directly to the west, one door directly to the east, and one door directly to the south. Everything seems quiet. AJ, you're kicking your feet up on some stones, but you're not doing too badly down here. Where would you like to go from here?
The door to the northwest looks slightly different to the others, so I'm interested in that one.
Rudgar will approach said door. And have we got a keyhole? Have we got anything I can peek through?
Looking at it, it looks like a basic door. However, you are from the Dwarven Holds originally, right, Rudgar?
Indeed.
It's interesting. This second level that you've come down to, let's call it basement level 1, definitely older than what's above. A lot older. This was here originally. Whatever this is old stone. But in regards to the doors, they have been fitted into this area, more recent additions, because these doors are once again old ship doors. But in regards to locks, down here, no. These are thick wooden doors with stone reinforcements. But you can see no locks from your general perception.
It would seem this area is older. The rest of Thistletop was built on top of it. And these doors fitted retroactively. I can't see a way of peeking in. I'm going to enter.
You open the door to a corridor that goes to the north. It is a 5-foot corridor that does seem to open up into another area that has a lantern illuminating a thin light at the end of it. Rudgar is proceeding to the north towards that lantern. When you get there, Rudgar, you discover another corridor that veers off to the east. The corridor continues on to the north, but also, most interestingly, off to the west, you see a pair of double doors that are definitely different to anything else that stands out here. Their faces are carved with images of horrific, deformed monsters of all kith and kins.
I think we can all tell what is most interesting here. We should prepare ourselves. Hard to tell what might be on the other side.
As Targray is with you right there behind you, Rudgar, Targray, you don't need... you're an expert in religion now, right? Skill rank?
I believe so, yes.
Yeah, you don't need to make the religion check then. These doors and their depictions are common to the churches of Lamash too.
So it's built on top of an old temple. Interesting.
Well, the Burgeist that was trying to be awoken, it was a Malfeshnakor, right? That was the name?
Yeah, the Barghast.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the Barghast. Well, the Barghast is Malfeshnakor is apparently ancient. It wouldn't surprise me if some sect of Lamash 2 made a temple here in its honor.
Thumble, looking around this place from your perception, you're getting very, very familiar vibes. Not quite the catacombs, but yeah, you're getting very familiar vibes in these corridors.
Okay.
Brace yourselves.
Oh, we're going in there first. All right.
Well,
Let me just.
I am willing to hear the rest of you out if you feel otherwise, but
Let me just.
well,
Get behind you there.
Pause.
Hmm?
Right. I want Targray to go back to where he was in that square. I will allow Thumble and AJ to maneuver there because basically I was going to rule too much noise, thick doors,
Yep.
going into encounter mode. So those movements would have needed to have been made in encounter mode. However, those two are fair and square. Everyone, please roll initiative. AJ, would you like to use your seek action, not seek, would you like to use your stealth check for initiative, or do you want to re-roll using stealth?
You know what? I'm gonna use what I rolled just to see what happens.
Okay, that is a 13. Okay.
Yeah, okay, that's fine.
Yeah, no, rolls are coming in. Cool. All right.
No, not the danger music. No.
Danger music. And we'll go
Can't it
into
be like jazz?
light jazz, danger music. Yeah, okay. Well, let's begin this encounter then. I'm going to call out the initiative rolls this time because this is more a sequence of events. Actually, AJ, I need to increase your initiative up to 14 because you still get the scouting bonus. Not going to lie, it's not going to make too much of a difference, but you never know. Weirder things have happened.
That's fine. It's fine.
So in that case then, we'll begin encounter mode and we'll go through initiative numbers in the sequence of events. So Thumble, you kick things off. What are you doing? I will say that based off your exploration action, which you rolled a dirty 20 for, combined with your 25 initiative, you do know that presences behind that door caught attention and you heard big, massive footsteps coming towards the double doors. What are you doing?
I am going to have Null move up to the doors.
Okay, so is that Null's independent action?
Yes, please.
All right, so Null's back on the board.
And then I am going to pair an action for if something opens the doors to cast my hex.
Because it's a one action spell, you can do it.
E.
That's very, very good. Okay. Next up, background actions happen. I'm going to say in one action, because this character's got the strength to do it, the double doors boot open. And on the other side, you see a humongous looking bugbear. Hold off on the original action just now, Dave. We'll get to the scripter first. You know who this is. You've never encountered this character before, but Shalelu Andasana gave you a descriptor of him. If Shalelu to the goblins is known as the Goblin Hunter or Huntress, then this is the Longshank Hunter. This is her opposite. As you look upon the visage of a huge, massive bugbear, Bruphasmus. Look at this tank.
Absolute lad.
Built, bulky. Pretty much imagine a bear in goblinoid form, and that is Bruphasmus. Brown fur, powerful looking arms, usually wields a bow and a cross. Usually wields a bow which is currently slung onto his back, but in his hands, because of the noise you were making, he has ready a massive two-handed war flail. As for his second action out of 3, he boots open the doors and he says, "Finally, I knew you had come. boredom ends at last. Time to hunt. But there's a null in the way. Dave, do you want to pop that ready to action?
Yes, please.
Okay, so Shroud of Night is going to come in, which is going to be a 2-action spell. Ruphasmus needs to... 1-action spells. Thank you, beg your pardon. Will save for Ruphasmus. Here we go. As he looks down on this cat, and he fails the perception check. Sorry, the will save by 1. A natural 12 off the dice for a total of 15. Here's a spoiler: you may have found his weakest save. He becomes, well, enemies could become concealed to him.
Yep, we're all concealed to him.
And frightened
My
1.
familiar is adjacent to an enemy to which it's not concealed or hidden yet, so frightened won't go up.
Okay, cool. In that case, then.
But
Yes.
with my new familiar of balanced luck, I am going to inflict upon Ruphasmus. I'm not able to do it myself, so I will just post the thing. I'm going to inflict him with a -1 AC until the end of my turn, or the start of my next turn.
Okay, so this will use your free action as well. And be aware, free actions players, it won't necessarily matter so much at lower levels, but also remember that you only get 1 free action per round. So you are going to infect Ruphasmus with a -1 status penalty to AC. What does this all look like, Dave?
So we've described before how there is a slight clouding of the... You'd see it most in like the coloured irises. Is the iris the coloured bit on the eyes?
Yes.
Yeah, the irises of the creature you'd see become darker, as if there was just like shadows kind of creeping up over their eyes a little bit. But now, in addition to that, you kind of just feel a little bit of, I don't know, hard to describe somebody's luck being slightly influenced. Maybe there's like a faint sound of a coin landing on the ground.
If I may add, you could, instead of a coin landing on the ground, you could have a faint sound of a mirror being broken.
A mirror breaking.
Perfect.
Yeah, a mirror breaking up in the distance. Or maybe Ruphasmus, as he stares down at Noel, maybe he inadvertently bashes his foot on the door or something.
Yep, that's what he will end up doing.
Okay, so with that in mind, Ruphasmus is suddenly reared back by all of this, and he has 1 action left. So apologies, Dave, but I think with Noel inflicting all of that upon him, I think his instinct and reaction for his final action will be to strike down at the source of what's causing him this discomfort.
Tiny cat.
So he's gonna, he's gonna try and bring the war flail down on Noel. Let's roll the DC 5 flat check due to concealment. Natural 4. He in absolute shock just tries to bring the war flail down, but once again, that bad luck. He kicks his foot on the door, slightly alters his positioning, and the war flail just whisks right in front of Noel because it's a 5-foot square. Noel is a tiny creature, so let's say Noel's at the edge of the upper end of the 5 foot. Ruphasmus just brings it down 1 foot, so cleanly whisks Noel, and that concludes Ruphasmus's turn.
Yeah.
But it's an old friend of yours' turn.
Null is sat. Null is doing the sitting cat thing and just does not move.
It is now the returning Aurelium's turn. You see, you have opened the double doors into a a room where stone fonts containing frothy water sit to the north and south of the eastern entrance to the room, and twin banks of stone pillars run the length of the long chamber. At the western end, shallow stairs rise to a platform about 2 feet off the ground. The walls surrounding this platform are lit by hanging braziers that emit a glowing red smoke, giving the place an unnerving crimson lighting that throws the bas-relief carvings of countless monsters feasting on fleeing humans into lurid display. There is a black marble altar made of stone, its surface heaped with ashes and bone fragments. Before it is after it is a 10-foot tall statue. The statue depicts a common visage of Lamashtu, as the priestess Aurelium is once again here, and she just looks at all of you in broken common. It's them! The defilers! The disgusting defilers! In my lady's name! Now you will die! 2 actions. Innate spell ability to cast invisibility. She is gone. And for her final action, well, you don't know what she does. Okay, that concludes Aurelium's turn. It is now Targray Alken's turn.
Yep. And now I get to use this as a countermeasure. I would like to cast See the Unseen.
Alright, so you gaze, pierces through illusions, and finds invisible creatures and spirits. You can see invisible creatures as though they weren't invisible, although their features are blurred, making them concealed and difficult to identify. You can also see incorporeal creatures like ghosts phase through an object from within 10 feet of an object's surface as blurry shapes seen through those objects. Subtler clues also grant you a +2 status bonus to checks you make to disbelieve illusions. So let's do this properly, and let's see if the Foundry calculates for this. So I need to put invisibility. Yeah, so I need to put invisibility properly on to Aurelium. Here we go, there's invisible. Let's put this spell effect onto Targray. And let's see. Through Targray's line of vision, you do see a visage of a invisible creature trying to give themselves some cover in this room, trying to sneak and hide behind the pillars. But be wary, she is still concealed to you though, Paz.
Yes, but now we at least know where she is.
You do.
Yeah, and then I can point it out.
You can do the point out action.
Yep.
As I've given that we have a more pressing matter right now in Big Bugbear, I would like, targeting Rudgar, I would like to cast Guidance.
Okay, so Guidance is going on to Rudgar. Okay. And Dave, to answer your question in the Discord chat, I will simply sum it up as first edition spice.
Yeah.
So yes, the artwork back in first edition was definitely spicy. But Aurelium is a priestess of Lamashtu, and Lamashtu is all about the weirder things in life, let's put it that way. That concludes Targray's turn. AJ, it is now your turn.
Right, so if I'm reading the the Shroud of Night spell correctly, Rathbone is can't see us, but we can see him, correct?
You can't.
Yes.
Yes.
We're concealed to him.
You're wondering if you'll get
specifically not hidden.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just wondering if I need to hide, or is it a flat check to actually hit first?
You don't need to make the flat check to hit him. He needs to make the flat check to hit you.
Okay then. So I'll take a step forward for first action. And I will quick draw my short bow, which gives me an automatic fire. With a natural 20 for 27.
Very well done. That is a critical hit. Roll this critical damage.
Nice. That is 15.
Deadly D10 off that bow as well. 15 points worth of damage into Bruphasmus. Would you like to re-sneak?
Yeah. Yes, I will re-sneak.
Alright then, just give us a stealth roll then please and move back into position. You move at half speed until you get the swift sneak feat.
That's 19.
I will reveal for the sake of speed and ease. You're hidden to Bruphasmus, not to Aurelium. Okay.
I can't see her, so...
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying it for the sake of ease in case something rolls around. Okay, bottom of the turn. Rudgar.
Okay. Lots of concealment going on, but what Rudgar certainly can see is a big old bugbear. And we seem to have something of an advantage against him right now, so let's push that. Rudgar's going to come round to the back of this large bugbear, and I'm going to try and use my new ability, an intimidating strike.
Alright, he does not have reactive strike, so go ahead.
Oh, I was holding my
Excellent.
breath.
Give us a target, and then give us a regular strike.
Taste my regular strike.
What weapon are you using? Your hammer or the short sword?
The hammer, I think. Stick with the hammer for now.
What'd you roll?
25.
It has calculated a flank with null. However, familiars cannot provide flank.
I thought that was probably the case.
So what I'm getting at here is the Foundry is registering a plus 10 crit, but because a familiar cannot provide flank, that will only be a regular hit instead. So give us regular damage.
Would it be -2 for flank and then plus still -1 from being off balance?
Let me have a look. Because his AC...
They're both status, aren't they?
Yeah, his AC's down by 1. That's already been made into... Yeah, everything's been taken into account. It is a regular hit. Good shout, though.
Nope.
Alright, rolled a 7 for a total of 11 damage. And with the text of Intimidating Strike, your blow not only wounds creatures, but also shatters their confidence. If you hit and deal damage, the target is frightened 1 or frightened 2 on a crit.
Okay, so what does this look like? How does your Warhammer strike do this?
Well, this guy's pretty big and intimidating. It's difficult to imagine him being frightened just by being hit. So I think with what Noel's got going on with the concealment right in its face, it's kind of a little bit staggered, a little bit confused. It doesn't know, perhaps even, that I've got behind it. So all it's aware of is being hit very hard with something relatively large. So it's freaking out a little.
That makes a lot of sense. That concludes Rudgar's turn. Alright, top of round 2, Thumble.
Right. Well, I'm going to sustain my hex upon Bruphasmus.
Okay, the Frighten does not stack, but stays.
And I'm going to keep him being the target of -1 AC.
Alright, not a problem. So 1 action to sustain, 1 free action used, 2 actions remaining.
Yeah, and since Null is no longer needed for keeping up the frightened, they're just going to pop back over.
So now I'll head in.
Out of sight.
Yeah, not getting up the corridor.
And then I think I'm gonna go ahead and just go for the telekinetic projectile.
Sure, go for it. Give us that target, give us that strike.
What do we got? We got a 14.
A 14 on Bruphasmus is a miss.
Oh, Okay, that's my turn then.
Okay, it's Bruphasmus's turn. The concealment still applies when you sustain it too, correct?
Yes.
Fantastic. All right. Then what Bruphasmus is going to do is, knowing that there is a fighter behind him, for his first action, he's going to cast Hunt Prey on Rudgar. For his second action, Bruphasmus is going to attempt actually shove Rudgar back. So he's going to try and make a shove attack against Rudgar. Out of my way, dwarf! However, this still has the attack tag, so he needs to make the DC 5 flat check. Natural 2, he doesn't. He stammers, he stumbles, and he's just frustrated. What is all of this? So for his final action, he is going to, on the first map, once again make the flat check as he will try to bring the flail down on Rudgar normally. This time, off an 8, he hits it, he makes it, so he's going to try and attempt the strike. So let's have a look. War flail. However,
the strike?
a natural 4 off the dice for a total of 13 is not going to do it. This bugbear has become so discombobulated. Next up, it's Aurelian's...
a bad time.
Yeah, and next up, it's Aurelian's turn. You just hear a voice in invisibility just say, useless you are. Why did my student side herself with such insignificance? Fly, although Rudgar can't see her, behind Rudgar and will attempt to strike him with her dagger.
I can't point out as a reaction, right?
No. So
Gotcha.
Rudgar
Just wanted to make sure.
Yeah, Rudgar is going to be off guard to this attack, but technically will be off guard anyway due to the flank. So here we go. Aurelian rolls a natural 5 for a total of 15. Let's see though.
Not going to do it.
However, she's got the flank off you. Your AC's 17 naturally, correct?
Naturally, yes.
Your shield is not up, you have not raised it.
No, but I might consider a reactive
Okay.
shield.
Reactive shield will make it miss. If not, it's going to hit because it hasn't counted the off guard, and she does have you off guard. If not from the flank, from the invisibility. So that will hit unless you use reactive shield.
I will, yes, use reactive shield in that case.
Okay. So reactive shield, you get to raise your shield on. That's up, that's in place. Let's see, so she flies over, clings against the armor as Rudgar suddenly whips around against the shield, and then she flies away some more. Okay. Targray, your turn.
Yes, I'm gonna target Rudgar once again. Gonna help out the short king, and I would like to cast Foreboding Ward.
The short
yeah.
king. What?
Well,
That's amazing for all the wrong
it's-
reasons.
like it's young people lingo. I'm trying to appeal to the younger audience members.
You want to be down with the kids? Okay, we got you. Okay, so in all seriousness, forbidding ward on Rudgar in regards to Bruphasmus. One action left.
I would like to strike Bruphasmus.
Okay, just let me do one thing first. The foundry is automatically taken off the frightened. I need to put that back on because it got sustained by null. So go ahead, that's now back on. Give us that strike attack with the glaive.
Yes. Ooh, 30.
Even with the debuffs, that's not a hit.
No, that's all my actions.
AJ, you are up. Bruphasmus is... Well, he doesn't know you're there.
Yeah, I'll do what I did last round. I'm going to step out and take a shot.
Go for it.
as he's still targeted. That is a 19.
That is a hit. Give us damage.
7 damage.
All right, one action left.
Yeah, I'm gonna stealth again. That's a 24.
You are exactly completely hidden to him. Maximum. You know, he gets hit by the shot, then you just slink away before he can focus on you. You are completely hidden to him. That's a crit.
And that's
success. Okay. Rudgar.
So, a question before I make my decision on what I'm going to do. Intimidating Strike doesn't say that I can build up levels of Frightened. It just says normal Strike is Frightened 1, critical is Frightened 2. Can I build up Frightened by using it repeatedly?
It doesn't stack. But what it does
doesn't stack.
Yeah, no, abilities generally do not stack. What will happen is it will always take the better result. So, for example, right, if Noel hadn't sustained Shroud of Night and the Frighter would have dropped this round, then you could whack him again to apply the +1 Frightened again. When you have an opponent who is already frightened, you can use an Intimidating Strike, but it will only improve if you get the crit. It will upgrade to a +2.
Okay. So it is possible with crits.
It is possible with the crits, yes. Some enemies in this... Just a clarification as well, some enemies in this game with their special abilities will have abilities that Frightens can stack on one another, but they are few and far between.
Okay. Well, I'm going to use my guidance then to add +1 to an attempt at an Intimidating Strike against the Bugbear.
Unfortunately, you lost it last round because you didn't use it.
Ah, rats. Okay.
Guidance only lasts for 1 round, and you have the immunity on you now.
No guidance then, but I will still attempt the Intimidating Strike. Oh, yes. So I rolled a 19, which gives us 28.
That's a +14 critical. His Frightened will go up to Frightened 2. You achieved it. Give us critical damage.
Fantastic. Here it comes. Okay, not a great roll, so it only ends up being 14 damage.
14 points worth of damage is a good solid hit. Phasmus looks like he's on his last legs. 1 action left.
Yeah, I will go for the first map.
Yep, Intimidating Strike does not increase the map by 2. I've just checked it.
Oh, good, yes.
Alright, roll coming in.
Okay, roll this time of 9, giving us 13.
Because you got him up to Frighten 2, that's a meets beats. Give us damage.
Oh, fantastic. This is going so well.
Go for it.
Rolled a 7, so 11 damage.
You lot have just completely owned, through good play, the Longshank Hunter. What does it look like, Rudgar?
Well, I almost feel a bit sorry for him. He's stumbling around, flailing, not really hitting anything. And Rudgar's just kind of... You know, he's a short king, so he's smashing away at his sort of waist height.
There we go. We've got
bruising his torso.
We've got some merch ideas now. Short king shirts all the way, baby. Right. Shop coming soon, folks. Shop coming soon. I wish.
Okay, so suggestion, if I may.
Go on. How dare you? But go on.
Rip him slightly, so his flail swings around and hits himself in the nuts.
The bad luck continues.
Yeah.
That's a good idea, yeah. Maybe a trip or a blow to the head that throws him off balance and, flails his own
Because war flails have spikes on the end of them. They're not nice. Yeah. It's not a clean...
I don't know why. It just like cartooned in my head based on how the fight had gone so far.
Well, it wasn't a good fight for him, but it was good play from all of you. Let's keep this moving. You still have an invisible opponent to fight. Thumble.
Yes, indeed. And she'd not been pointed out so far?
Not yet.
Alright, in which case I'm going to move forwards and I'm going to attempt to search, I think.
Yes, it is a search action. Go for it.
Yeah. I can't remember if my eyes work for this, but I'm sure you already know. Do you want me to make... No, there's no point making
Just
it secret.
always open. It's you're supposed to make it. I'm supposed to make them, but speed. Just open.
Spooky. That's a total of 21.
Good roll, but you don't see anyone. One action left.
In which case, I will... I think cast shield on myself.
All right then, shield up. You can put that effect on you, my friend. Okay, it's now Aurelium's turn. She's going to try and sneak. Okay, natural 11 for a total of 17. So going off everyone's perception DCs for a second, she is hidden to everyone. Hidden, concealed. I can never remember the living things, but yeah, apart from Targray, you do, yeah. So she's going to move. Just need to remind myself of her fly speed for a second. Right, cool.
Oh, does my search not carry over?
Nope.
Ugh, rascal.
Okay. Yeah, it's gonna be a dagger throw. Out of invisibility. A returning dagger is gonna go into Rudgar's back. Rudgar, you're gonna be off guard to this. Here we go. Returning dagger time. Let's see if Aurelian can do a bit better. Natural 11 for a 19, Rudgar. Okay, Rudgar, you take 8 points worth of damage.
Dang. Okay.
Alright, and that concludes... No, it doesn't actually. She's got another one. What's she gonna do? She's got an action left. She's still invisible. But yeah, she does have one left. You know what? She might as well. Rudgar's still technically off guard, so she's gonna have another swing. Even at that first map, it's a returning dagger, so it does come back to her. So here we go. Click this, and I click that. Second dagger swing, total of 12. That is a swing and a miss. That concludes Aurelian's turn. Targray, you've got a line of sight on her, although she's concealed for you.
I'm sorry. I scrolled up to look at her invisibility again.
Yeah.
It does say if the target uses a hostile action, the spell ends after the hostile action is completed.
Nope. Her innate ability is to counter at the 4th rank level.
Ah! Okay, fair enough. That part was not given.
Yeah.
He's not got to read the whole thing for you.
That is completely fair.
Objection overruled.
Yeah, certain creatures negate those effects, mate. You should learn that by now.
But good spot, but no, her innate invisibility is at, believe it or not, it's janky as hell. Her innate invisibility is at 4th rank, which is the next step up, where the invisibility lasts for 1 minute instead of 10, but she doesn't become invisible when she uses an attack. So, 3 actions, Targray. She's still concealed to you, but you can see her. What are you doing?
I am gonna take a movement action.
Okay, so 1 stride.
Here,
Yep.
I am going to attempt a strike at her.
Alright, give us a target and then give us a DC 5 flat check to begin with.
15.
15, you make it through. Give us an attack roll against Aurelian.
Let's go. 19.
Hits, give us damage.
Damage is going to be max 14.
10 off the D10. She takes that damage. She just rears and realizes that you can see her. You again. How dare you? How dare you? For her reaction, she's going to cast Schadenfreude. I need you to make me... Oh, wait. You critically fail. I thought... Sorry. She doesn't cast this. The target... I need to read the spells. Trigger. You critically fail a saving throw against a foe's effect. I thought it was attack. But you have a bit of insight. She has Schadenfreude. So she's not going to cast that, but she does leer at you and starts to giggle and realizes that you can see her. One action left, Targray.
Yes. Final action. Gonna be point out.
All right, so you all get pointed out that Aurelium is here. I believe that will make her concealed to you, though, still. Seek to detect you. If a creature succeeds the perception check, you become hidden to the creature, right, until you sneak again. Right, so she's technically hidden towards you from the point out, so it'd be the DC 11 flat check. But you know she's there. AJ, over to you. Can't hear you, Alex, but you've just moved up.
Oh, sorry, I got accidentally muted myself. Hearing that Targray did a point out, but not being able to see where he pointed out, I'm still in the dark, so I'll move there.
Yep.
And I'll do the flat check to see if I can see.
It's a perception.
Oh, is it perception?
It is, but I will let you know, however, with that 17 off the dice, for a total of, with your perception bonus, which is a plus 6, that's enough. So she's hidden to you. You know she's there. So you can target her, and it'll be a DC 11 flat check if you try to shoot her.
Yeah, I'll do that flat check again then. 17 on the die again.
That's it. You can have a shot. Have a go.
Oh, that rolled off a natural 20. That's a miss with a 9.
Total of a natural 2 off the dice. Rudgar, it's over to you.
So the point out action has taken place, is that right?
Yes. So now you know she's there, and you would have to make a DC 11 flat check in order to hit her. That is according to the rules of invisibility. Once you sort an opponent using Seek, they become hidden to you. So I'm going to rule the point out makes her hidden. So yes, you can have a go at her DC 11 flat check.
I like those odds pretty well. I'm going to raise my shield first of all. She does have me at something of a disadvantage. Then I will move over to where I've been told she is, make that flat check, and see if I can hit her. Okay, so the flat check's coming at a 17.
That is going to make it through. Give us a target. Give us a strike.
Here we go. Rolling with a +9. Scored an 11 for a 20.
That's a hit. Give us damage.
Hell yeah. Alright. 5 + 4 is 9.
All right, 9 points worth of damage. Goes up to 16. Weakness, Cold Iron 7.
Yes!
Yes.
Glad I kept Warhammer.
It was worth. Well played.
One action
I was
left.
going to break you, but it turned out.
Method to his madness, Dave. Method to his madness. One action left. Do you want to have another go? You'll have to make the flat check again, but you're the fighter, man.
I think I've used 3. I raised the shield, I moved, and I swung.
Forgive me. Shut up me. All right, Thumble. So,
No.
independent action. Null is moved into the chamber in between the pillars, in between Aurelium and Rudgar.
I can still do the the luck thing, because it's based on how far away just Null is in general.
Okay.
But obviously the Brighton part of Shroud of Night won't be applicable. Do I have to roll to cast a spell on her?
Let's have a look. Your patron blankets the target's eyes in darkness. If you cast this hex on a willing ally, the ally can choose which result it gets without rolling. Now, you loosely know she's there, and technically, as a saving throw spell, you shouldn't have to. However, it does specifically say you blanket the target's eyes in darkness. Null was in range of 30 feet. Let's have a look. I think technically by the rules of the game, as it's a saving throw spell, no. Let me read concealed. You're difficult for one or more to observe, but you're not observed to others. She's technically hidden to you. While you're hidden from that creature knows the space you're in, but can't tell precisely where you are. You typically come hidden using a stealth check. So, you know she's in that square, but you don't specifically know where she is. A creature might be able to use the seek action to try and observe you. I'm going to say for Shroud of Night, and I'm going to rule as it specifically states your patron blankets the target's eyes in darkness. You have to make the flat check.
Totally fair and understandable.
So roll us that DC 11 flat check.
I never fail these anyway. Wait, why is it 11?
Because she's technically hidden to you.
Hidden? No. Wait, I'm sure I've got some BS to circumvent this.
Basically, for those who are joining us, Dave has rolled a natural 10, one off the flat check marker. So, let's do this quickly, please, Dave. Do you have any BS, yes or no?
This isn't a skill check or saving throw, is it?
Aurelium's making a saving throw if this lands, but you're not.
Okay. I can't use Halfling Luck to make that reroll then. I think I'm just going to do it again.
You can certainly do it again. You can use the next action for Shroud of Night. Give us another roll on that flat check.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's better. Yeah. 18.
Natural 18 this time. So now she's going to re-roll. Now she's going to roll the will saving throw against the cleric. So let's see what happens. Natural 1. This was worth it then. So now you are concealed to her, and the frightened will go up next turn as well. So this is basically a battle of John Cena versus John Cena. Nobody can see each other.
Yeah, and she also has a -1 to AC. If that's okay. I just gotta
pop that up.
I need to get this on my profile. There we go.
All right then. So -1 on to Aurelium. Okay.
Yes, and I'm just going to use it to cast shield.
Right, you didn't move. Okay, got it. I was wondering if you moved or not. Okay. Okay, it's now Aurelium's turn. In invisibility, you just hear her voice just go, what? 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 She doesn't know what's going on, but she knows that she can be seen. She is just going to absolutely panic. Actually, let me make a will save for her. DC is going to be... Let's see, she's that level. So DC is going to be 19 to see if she keeps her cool or not. Okay, she does. So what she is going to do is she is going to take a fly step away from Rudgar, and then for her next action she is going to try and sneak. Well, she does know that see invisibility, she'll recognize the spell. Okay, for her next two actions in her panic, she is then going to spew out a breath that comes out of the shadows. She's going to use euphoric breath. So in a 15-foot cone, she'll fire this. Let's see. Here we go. I need Rudgar, Null, and Targray to make me fortitude saving throws, please. There's a pop-up in the chat box for you.
I don't see a pop-up specifically, but I can.
It's in the explanation.
Oh yeah, it's the yellow text.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you.
Oh crap.
All right, let's do this quickly. 3 failures, 9, 12, and 11. No critical failures though, so you're not too bad on that score. So here's what happens. Targray becomes stupefied 2, slowed 1. Rudgar becomes stupefied 2 and slowed 1. Null becomes stupefied 2 and slowed 1.
No.
And you are stuck this way for a total of 1 round. So let's see, you are stuck this way until the start of Aurelium's next turn. And Aurelium can't use his ability again for another... Oh, it automatically rolled it for me. Thank you, Foundry. She can't use it again for another undisclosed number of rounds. So that concludes Aurelian's turn with that desperate move. Let's see, that was quite effective against Targray. Stupefied is the spellcaster's bane, but it's over to you, Targray. You have 2 actions because you are slowed 1, and you have no reaction while you are slowed as well.
Right. And whenever I cast a spell, or attempt to cast a spell, well, I have to...
DC 7 flat check. You've been stupefied!
I have been stupefied. Do I have to point out?
She did not stealth, so no.
Stupefied does not count towards normal attacking.
It does not.
Step, and I'm gonna swing.
Make the flat check first, please.
4.
Swing and a miss.
Worth a try, and because of slowed, that's all my turn.
Alright, slowed ticks off though. So on to AJ's turn.
Yeah, I'm gonna come straight up, and I'll do a swap for a bow to my cane sword.
Okay, that's not a problem. She doesn't have reactive.
But as we discussed, it's going to be the blunt part of the cane, so it's blunt damage. Yeah, it's a DC 11 flat check.
It is for you, yes.
Yeah, that is. No, that's a nat 1.
Swing and a miss. Is that your turn?
Yeah.
All right.
Movement, swap, and try and find her. So yeah, that's my turn.
Rudgar, you've been stupefied.
I have. Which is not, it's not what you want to happen, really, but not the end of the world. I will take a step forward, or rather, I will move forward.
Yep.
And I will attempt the flat check to be able to strike her. 16.
Yep.
Wonderful.
So go ahead and make us an attack roll proper.
Let's make sure I've got it targeted. Yeah. Here we go. 4 for a total of 13.
Okay, she wasn't targeted. That's a miss. Okay, Thumble.
Unfortunate.
Thumble, over to you.
Okay, Null cannot move. However, I'm going to attempt to X anyway.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
A 10. You're off by 1.
In which case, I think I'm going to swap tactics a little bit. I think this should work.
Well, don't you have to just sustain this turn, though? Because you got her last time because she crit failed it.
You are quite right. Thank you very much.
So
I will sustain.
All right. I'm being nice to you there. So let's see. She's now frightened then. Wow. She's not having a good day either.
I'm not frightened yet because Null still isn't managed to get there.
Okay. I thought... Oh, Null has to be next. Right. I understand. Okay.
Yeah. Null's the familiar of Stalking Knight.
Okay. So Shroud of Night is sustained.
Yep. And then with my next 2 actions, I'm going to cast Ill Omen.
All right. Struck with misfortune. Let's give her a saving throw. Natural 11 for a total of 21.
Okay, it doesn't do anything.
Okay. Well, let's see. Unaffected. Okay, that is your turn. It's now Aurelium's turn. Yeah, she's not having a good day of it. So she is going to try and cast Sanctuary on herself. Rudgar, would you like to make a reactive strike?
I would indeed.
Now, this goes in before the spell gets cast. So, give us the flat check to begin with, please.
Oh, I clicked reactive shield by mistake.
We know the reactive whack,
Right.
so you're all good.
15 on the flat check.
Give us a regular attack roll then, please. That goes through.
6 plus 9 is 15.
That is a miss by 1.
Ah, how aggravating.
So, Sanctuary,
Is it worth hero pointing?
you do have
I feel
4.
like we're in a good position. Probably don't need to.
Well, you do. I would say it's worth because you might be able to crit, and that disrupts.
Oh, that would be good, yeah. Okay, I'll hero point it and roll that again, please, Mark.
That's not a problem. You don't need to do the flat check again. Give us a reroll on that attack roll.
Fantastic. Let's have a larger number, please. That is a smaller number.
That's a 14. You went down by 1. So, Sanctuary goes through on Aurelium. So, let's see. What she's going to try and do is anybody tries to attack her, you need to make a will saving throw against her DC to land the blow. So what she's going to then do is she's going to try and fly out of here with her 40 foot of fly speed. She flies, not stealthily though, and it's now northeast of Thumble, but that's Aurelian's turn. Targray, you're up. Slow is off. You're now only stupefied 1.
Does the stupefy not go as well?
Oh, I've called it wrong. It was supposed to... Oh, it goes away completely because of her euphoric breath. Yes, so you are fine, back to normal. That's... you're good.
Definitely don't want her to get away. It is just an attack, right?
Yeah, if you try to make an attack roll against her, not only have you got to make the flat check to hit her, you've also got to succeed at a willed saving throw to get through the Sanctuary as well. So it'll be Sanctuary first, then the flat check, then the strike.
Good. Yeah, I think I'm going to do this then. I will spend 1 action to move all the way up to here.
Yep, so you go next to Aurelium's form.
Actually, that was 20 feet. I would like to go here.
Okay, so you block off the southern corridor.
Yes. Then I would like to cast Dazzling Colors.
Alright, so you cast Dazzling Colours in a 15-foot cone. You unleash the swirling colours that overwhelms creatures based on their will saves. So let me just check Sanctuary for a second. You ward a creature with positive energy that deters attacks. Creatures attempting to attack the target must attempt a will save each time. Let's see. It says attack and not strike. That's interesting. So does that mean that this... What defines an attack? It doesn't specifically say strike. You unleash a swirling multitude of colours. Yeah, I'm going to rule you have to make the will save.
Fair enough. I will admit I would have argued due to the tags that this would not warrant it, but you know, you're the boss.
Concentrate, divine, illusion, incapacitation, manipulate, visual. Yeah, but you're still trying to attack her with colours. This may not do damage to her, but you are potentially trying to dazzle her, stun her, or blind her. I would say that's an attack.
Yeah, that's completely fair.
So give us a will saving throw to begin with, please.
Yes.
I mean, you're a cleric. You've got a good will save, so you've got a fair shot at this.
Yeah, this does not have the illusion trait. I was just checking if
That's fine.
I got a bonus. Let's see.
What's your roll?
That's a 12. Do I hero point this, guys, or do I want to keep them at 3?
It is an incapacitation effect, so it means it will probably be less useful against her, given that she'll be a higher level creature than us, so any successes would still be reduced a stage. So it's likely, even if she fails, she'll only be dazzled. I don't think it's worth, personally.
Then, it is a 12.
So you go to cast a spell, and although you dissipate the blessing and the energy, you quite not bring yourself to do it. So the spell is lost. And I will tell you, although Dave made a fair point, you now match Aurelium's level at 4. So incapacitation tag will not have come into play there. AJ, it's your turn.
I was gonna play rules lawyer here for a second, but as you can see in the chat, it says most attack strikes. You make an attack, make a strike, or use another attack action. So if you're casting the lights as an attack action, that goes to the rules of the GM.
However, read the bottom
not
line.
the spell.
But a character might strike with their fists, grapple, or shove with their hands, or attack with a spell.
I'm agreeing with you.
Oh right, okay, that's cool. That's cool. That's cool.
So this is the GM. This goes towards the GM's action.
Gotcha, understood.
So this is
This is how. No, this is how we learn. As a matter of fact, this episode's going on a bit long, but we'll share this here. Attack. Source Player Core, page 102. When a creature tries to harm another creature, it makes a strike or uses some other attack action. Most attacks are strikes made with a weapon, but a character might strike with their fist, grapple, or shove with their hands, or attack with a spell. So that's good to know for the future. Okay, please proceed with your turn, Alex. Thank you for finding that. That's good to know.
That's fine. I still need to make the will DC at a distance, don't I?
Yes, you will.
Okay, so I'll do I attempt attack first or the will first?
It's going to be the will for Sanctuary first, then the flat check.
Okay, I'll do the will first then. That's a 17 on the die for 23.
Pass. Flat check.
15.
Pass. Attack roll. Go on, Alex.
He's doing it.
I'll have to swap again to get my bow, so that'll probably be my last action.
Oh no!
No, that's a natural one.
Unlucky.
Use that hero point.
I'm not going to hero point this. We'll need that for a while here in the next session. So I know she's there.
Okay. If you get to Nualia next session, okay. Still 2 actions left.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
I thought. Okay, never mind.
It was the start of your turn.
Matt.
It was the start of your turn.
Do I need to make another flat check?
Unfortunately, you do it. You do every time. I'm going to be generous and for the sake of speed today, because I think you technically need to make the will save every time as well. But I'm going to be nice today. You only have to make the will save once, but you still got to make the flat check.
That's fine. No, that's an 8.
Fail. 1 action left.
Yeah, I'm gonna close in.
All right, let's get this a bit more smooth. Let's get this a bit, more flowing. Rudgar, over to you.
Okay, Rudgar absolutely does not wish this enemy to escape, so he is going to move once, move twice, and how high is she flying, Mark?
She's basically flying at ground level. She's adjudicant to you.
Great. I'm going to attempt to grapple.
Okay, still will save for Sentry first, because grapples have the attack tag.
I will roll for will. 10 plus 6 is 16.
Meets beats. So now
Excellent.
So flat check now.
Flat check now. Rolling. That's a 7.
Miss, unfortunately.
Yeah, okay. I don't want to spend more of the party's hits dice necessarily. Not hit dice, hero dice.
Yeah, we got you. I believe that's
so I guess we'll just have to accept that. Yeah, that's my turn.
All right then, Thumble.
Yep. God, I hate this so much. Null can move now and is therefore going to.
Yep, small creature. Tiny creature, I mean.
Are they a small creature or tiny?
Aurelium is small, Null's tiny, so Null can go into Aurelium's square.
The stupefied needs to come off Null as well.
Thank you. There we go. So
I'm gonna sustain the hit.
all right, now she goes frightened. Can you bring up the unlucky thing again, please? Because that has to be renewed each round as well. So, independent action.
It really doesn't work. I'm so out of spells. I'm gonna have to. Nah, it ain't gonna happen. I'm gonna have to try and Hail Mary telekinetic projectile.
Okay, so first of all, will save for Sanctuary, please.
Gotcha. That's an 18.
Pass. Flat check. You got it this
That's
time.
11.
Natural 11, you got it. Attack roll.
Just got a hit.
This is it.
Come on, Dave.
Absolutely. Smash her in the face.
Come on, Dave.
Yes!
That's a hit. Give us damage.
Watcha! 10.
All right. She's still around, but you get the impression by the way she's flying now that it's not looking good for her. It's now her turn. What she is going to do... Yeah, she's being reckless, but she's got to move. Sanctuary is still up. It's only when she uses a hostile action that it happens. So she is going to try and fly away. Rudgar, if you want to reactive that, make those checks now.
You better believe it. Okay, will save.
Pass. We'll do this
Total of 21.
Yeah, we'll do this at speed. So pass.
Fail.
Miss.
Can't hit her.
So she flies to the door to the north. Second action, she opens it. And then for her third action, she flies into a very gruesome looking room. She's trying to get away. Targray.
Targray is going to move.
Targray heads north into what appears to be a darkened room. It's going to be low light, but that's not going to overrule the current flat check you have on her.
I'm just gonna do 2 attacks with the glaive.
All right, give us the will save for Sanctuary first.
Sorry, that was a... Trying to be too quick. Sanctuary is a 9, so I'm guessing a miss.
That's all right. That is a no. Will save to beat Sanctuary, mate. So give us a will saving throw first. You rolled a flat check. Okay, will save at 22 is successful. Now roll me the flat check, and if this flat check lands, I will let your 18 that you rolled off the glaive just a second ago go through.
Fair enough. 7.
That's a pass for you because it's only DC 5 for you. That is a hit. Roll damage.
Max 14.
Targray Alken, what does it look like?
So, Targray runs in the same movement as of running in, swings the glaives, and with the glow from the eyes from the See the Unseen, strikes her down, strikes her square in the back.
She falls, screaming in Thessalonian. Neohalia, my student, my beautiful student, I have failed you. Whack. She hits the floor, finally dead. I think everyone can breathe a collective sigh of relief that awkward as hell mini-boss is now over. She's down, she's gone, she's finished, and that is where we'll conclude today's session of Rise of the Remaster.